Welcome to the biggest celebrations of the Indian community, the Kiwi Indian Hall of Fame 2017. You are requested to please take your seats before the show begins. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest celebrations of the Indian community, the Kiwi Indian Hall of Fame 2017. You are requested to please take your seats before the show begins.
On behalf of Singapore Airlines, I would like to thank the Kiwi Indian community for their long-standing support. When we first connected India to New Zealand in 1976 through our Changi hub, we couldn't have imagined the level of support you have provided us. Over the past 41 years, your support has helped us grow our humble operation, providing flights between Auckland, Chennai, and Mumbai, to offering connectivity to 13 cities in India today, the most one-stop options between the two countries. We are very pleased to be sponsors of the Kiwi Indian Hall of Fame Awards tonight. I wish all the entrants good luck, and to those who win, congratulations.
Hi, I'm Julian Stone from John Andrew Mazda. We're very proud to be involved with the Indian Weekender. When the Indian Weekender approached us to be involved in this event, we thought it was a great opportunity to engage with the Indian community. We already sell a lot of vehicles and service a lot of vehicles to people in the Indian community, but with the immigration of recent times, we thought there's an opportunity to expand and grow that involvement. The perfect opportunity for us with the timing of the awards is the launch of the new Mazda CX-5. Mazda CX-5, since its inception in 2012, has been the number one selling SUV in New Zealand. So this is the car we're actually going to be launching here today, and it's the new model that's going to drive the Mazda brand moving forwards.
My name is Patrice De Marini, the Chief Distribution Officer at Sovereign, New Zealand's leading life and health insurer. I speak on behalf of Sovereign and all its 700 staff when I say how proud we are to sponsor this important event, which brings together the Indian community to acknowledge the contribution people have made to our wider community. What better reason is there to celebrate? It is very important to us at Sovereign that we take the time and an active role within the communities that we serve. And by supporting this event, we want to show you how important the Indian community is to Sovereign. Sincere congratulations to all the people recognised in the Hall of Fame this year. I hope you are as proud of your achievements as we are.
Hi, I'm Peter Thompson, Managing Director of Barfoot & Thompson Real Estate. We're delighted to be a sponsor of the Indian Hall of Fame, and it's about the community is what we're very proud to be associated with. Community work is very important in any society, and I congratulate all the nominees that have been put up for the awards tonight for the wonderful work that they are putting back into the Indian community. Whether you win or lose, it's not the matter of the recognition of winning that really counts. It's the fact that you are now being recognised for the wonderful times that you are putting into the community. Being a real estate company in Auckland, we're very proud of what we give back to the community, whether in the form of Starship Hospital, looking after all the sick children of both Auckland and New Zealand, or whether it's one of the many cultural diversities that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, sporting, cultural, and many events that we partake. Part of the community is what Barfoot & Thompson is about.
it is the kind request to all the guests and dignitaries present here tonight to be seated so we can start with our event. Thank you. Gentlemen, can I please request you all to take your seats so we can get started with our event tonight? Thank you. Good evening and a very warm welcome by your MC, Kritika Satija, to the 5th Annual Kiwi Indian Hall of Fame Awards by Indian Weekender, a night of glitz, glamour and celebration. Before we get started, let me just say how beautiful the ladies are looking. And men, you're looking handsome as well. So please put your hands together for yourselves. Tonight is one of the most prestigious nights where we honor the Kiwi Indians and celebrate their leadership, success, growth, and involvement in the community and New Zealand as a whole. Gratitude is the right attitude. And thank you to Indian Weekender, New Zealand's first weekend publication that is targeted at the strong ethnic Indian readership in the country and the online edition that is read across the world. Let us thank our sponsors who have helped us in making tonight possible. So thank you to all the sponsors here tonight. Now, most people say that rules are meant to be broken, but not the house rules. So let me announce the house rules for tonight. This is a smoke-free facility and smoking is prohibited. Toilets are located outside in the lobby area on your right. This one is a well-known. Please turn off your cell phones or put them on silent so you can be in the moment. Thank you. All right, it is time for me to welcome my co-host for tonight. He has done over 700 shows across 3 continents and is known to be one of the best-known observational comics in India. He's also famously known as the married guy. And after 2 kids and 1 marriage, it couldn't get any worse, he says. So he took to comedy. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for none other than Amit Tandon.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Kritika.
Thanks, Amit. How are you doing? How are you finding New Zealand?
Oh, it's been exciting. It's great being in New Zealand. This is the 12th country that I'm visiting this year. And the best part about New Zealand is that this is the first country that I've visited where our Honorable Prime Minister Modi, Mr. Narendra Modi, has not visited. So it's good. It's exciting. And we also have General V.K. Singh out here. Is he there? He's not around right now, right? But General V.K. Singh,
joining us soon.
You guys know, yeah. So he's been very famous also because he's carried out some rescue missions in different countries for Indian citizens. Can we have a big round of applause for General V.K. Singh? So when I come in and perform, I want him to be in the room because, you know, the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister of New Zealand is also going to be here. In case I say something politically incorrect, I know at least there's somebody who can take me back home. So let's just put the performance at that time when he's around.
That's true. And so you've been in New Zealand for, I think, a couple of days now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's different about New Zealand?
One clearly is the population. Like looking at the room, I feel half of New Zealand is right now out here. Because I come from India, like, New Zealand is like 4.5 million people.
4.5 million, yeah.
That can be a unit of population in India, okay? Like, we can actually have that as a unit of population. Like, how much is Delhi? It's 4 New Zealand. How many people go to work every day in Delhi? 2. New Zealand. And I'm not lying. Half of New Zealand goes to work on metro rail alone in Delhi.
Yeah, it's quite famous, isn't it? Metro in Delhi.
And a part of me can't believe I'm in New Zealand. And that's my lungs. Okay.
Are they sore? Are they hurting?
I'm used to 600 ppm pollution in Delhi. Okay. This is not even 20. My lungs are not sure. They're feeling they've been transplanted somewhere else. Its body has changed, so.
It's quite pure, isn't it?
Yeah.
We like to say the pure, the green, and the clean green New Zealand, don't we? All right, that's great. That's great. Should we get the night started with one of our performances?
Yeah, let's start. And I'll be back later on for a longer performance. We have somebody else coming in now. Let me add one more thing because I see a lot of white people in the audience today. So when I perform, I might have a few sentences in Hindi. Okay, if you don't get it, still laugh and nod. Because that's exactly what we do on your jokes most of the time. So let's get started.
That's lovely. Yes, let's do that. So ladies and gentlemen, our first performance for tonight is by a fusion band. They are an Indian and jazz fusion band. And we've got Manjeet on tabla, Ben on piano, Joe on bass, Ron on drums, Andrew on saxophone, and Kishori and Verinder on vocals. So they performed in many, many grand events in New Zealand and actually all around New Zealand. So they're here together and they're here tonight to present a fusion of traditional, the Desi music combined with jazz. So please put your hands together and welcome them.
सावन भी तो जाए Thank you. We featured Kishori Terang on vocals. On drums, we've got Ron Sampson, Manjit on tabla, Andrew Hall on saxophone, Joe Shum on bass, and I'm Ben Fernandez. Your rock time. Thank you. Our next song is an instrumental titled Laila.
you to the ragtime for that beautiful performance. Thank you. And a very warm welcome to the Honorable Prime Minister and General VK Singh and all the other dignitaries for joining us and who have just entered. Thank you. Right, the person I'm going to invite now has played a crucial role in making tonight happen. He's the man who has helped shape the success story of Indian Weekender with his business acumen, network, and passion. Bhav is an industrialist with interests in infrastructure, media, and real estate industries, and has been hailed by various government organizations as a successful Kiwi businessman who has brought repute to the Indian community. Please put your hands together for the concrete man of New Zealand, Mr. Bhav Dhillon. And it is a kind request to do the welcome address for tonight. Thank you.
The Indian Weekender is about bringing exclusive stories, most relevant issues, and is focused on reaching every Indian in New Zealand. The entire team works hard and gives their best to make sure that you get quality content presented in a nice and clean way so that you enjoy reading Indian Weekender every Friday without fail. This dedication has brought us 4 to 5 times more unique visits on our website and more engagement across social media platforms when compared to any other Indian news outlet in New Zealand. Printing 40,000 copies every month, it's more copies than any other Indian media group in New Zealand. It is the only weekly newspaper for Kiwi Indians and the only newspaper to be distributed at Pack and Save, New World and Countdown stores. Also the only Indian publication hand distributed at weekend veggie markets across Auckland. Being the only weekly, Indian Weekender prints more than twice as many editions than any other Indian newspaper in New Zealand. Our other verticals include Ticket Bazaar, Deal Bazaar and Property Bazaar. Indian Weekender is reaching new heights only because it brings you the latest, the hottest and the most exclusive news in the way you want it by producing exclusive video content.
If you don't give that newspaper, people, our customer, they ask about the paper.
Supporting the communities and covering wide range of news.
Demand for Indian Weekender newspaper is huge at our store and it gets over by Sunday.
Keeps you connected with the community, insights.
It gives you up-to-date information on national, local and international levels.
Spot-on reports. Reporters going out to the scene, reporting on the scene.
We are proud to be associated with top local and international brands. Indian Weekender is now in its 9th year and has pioneered Indian Community Awards in New Zealand. All we want to say is thank you for making us New Zealand's largest Indian media group.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the entire team at Indian Weekender, the only weekly Indian newspaper in New Zealand, it's my absolute honor and pleasure to accord a very warm welcome to our chief guests, dignitaries, community leaders, guests, and invitees to the 5th Annual Kiwi Indian Hall of Fame. A very special welcome to our guest of honor, the Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs, Government of India, General VK Singh, who has come all the way from India, especially to be amongst the diaspora. And this visit truly showcases the unwavering commitment of Prime Minister Modi towards the Indian diaspora, whether they are living as far as a country like New Zealand. A very warm welcome to our chief guest, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, the Right Honourable Bill English. Your participation participation definitely proves your commitment to the Indian community, and we are greatly honored with your presence, sir. So let's all again once put our hands together and welcome these two guests. A big welcome to Honorable Andrew Little, Leader of Opposition. And a very warm welcome to His Excellency Shri Sanjeev Kohli, the High Commissioner of India. Without him, the visit of this minister could not have been possible. And I want to put one other note here. Today is the birthday of our High Commissioner, so let's all again give him a round of applause. So he has done away with his family celebrations to be part of the community and part of the diaspora, so we salute you, sir, for that. We also welcome Mayor Phil Goff, Mayor Tim Shadbolt, Ministers Honorable Simon Bridges, Honorable Jonathan Coleman, Honorable Paul Goldsmith, and Honorable Mike Mitchell. We also extend a very warm welcome to the Members of Parliament, Honorable Phil Twyford, Michael Wood, David Seymour, Paramjit Parmar, Mahesh Bindra, Jenny Salesa, Louisa Wall, David Seymour, and last but definitely not the least, Kamaljeet Singh Bakshi, who was the first inductee in this Kiwi Indian Hall of Fame. A very special welcome to another special guest from India, Dr. Ashwin Johar, Vice Chairman of Center for Economic Policy and Research. He's the Chairman of Foreign Investment and NRI Affairs, Haryana, and he's also in charge of the Haryana and Punjab Overseas Friends of BJP. A special mention to our principal sponsors, Penny Simmons, the CEO of Southern Institute of Technology, who could not be here, but she is represented by Mayor Tim. Julian Stone from John Andrew Mazda. Simon Turcott from Singapore Airlines. Patrice Di Maroni from Sovereign. And we've got representatives here who are supporting the community from Barfoot, Spark, NZME, and Hum FM. And all other sponsors whose logos are adequately displayed here and outside. And so this is the support all these businesses are giving to the community, and without them, this event would not have been possible. So we acknowledge them on behalf of the community, and we thank them. We would also like to welcome our past Hall of Fame inductees, Mr. Bakshi, Judge Ajit Singh, Dr. Kanti Patel, and Dr. Benjamin, and our celebrity guests from Bollywood, the singing sensations Arman and Amal Malik. And the very famous Amit Tandon, who is assisting the MC this evening. Since this is a community awards night, without mentioning our community organizations who've been doing a stellar job, this evening would not be complete. So we have representation from all major community organizations, namely the nodal organization NZICA, Auckland Indian Association, Indian Association of New Zealand, Shanti Nivas, Gandhi Nivas, Telangana Association, Auckland Tamil Association, Auckland Marathi Association, Bharatiya Samaj, Auckland Sikh Society, Hindu Council, Punjabi Cultural Association, and my apologies if I have missed some others, as leaders from most diaspora organizations are present here in this room. We welcome you all and we salute you for the contribution these organizations and you as their leaders make to our community. Indian Weekender is now in its 9th year of publication. Yes, 9 years. We are the only Indian weekly newspaper in New Zealand, and every Friday without fail, we print and deliver it to you. Being the only weekly, we print more than double the copies of any other Indian newspaper, so we bring you the latest and the freshest news possible. Today, we are also taking it to a next level, so we are going to offer 500 free subscriptions where it will be delivered free to your doorstep on Saturday morning. And we have set up a special thing for that, which would be indianweekender.co.nz/subscribe. So if you want a free copy delivered to your doorstep, go on the website and register, and you'll get your favorite newspaper delivered to your doorstep. Our target is to reach. Thank you. Our target is to reach every Indian possible in New Zealand, and we are not far from it. Embracing the mantra of change, we embarked on a massive project to reinvent ourselves. This project was started on the 1st of September last year, and in a short span of 9 months, we can now claim to be the most visited Indian website in the country. Actually, there's no Indian website even in Australia which gets visited that much. That's all because of your love and your support to this portal. As per independent third-party stats for April 17, we had 117,000 unique visitors on our website. The community now is about 220,000, and we assume that about 50% don't consume any media and 50% consume some sort of media. So we reach almost every one of that 50%. And you would have seen that on social media also in these last 9 months, we have clocked an increase of a staggering 600%. We have numerous examples, just like the example of the video of General Singh arriving yesterday. Sometimes overnight, one of our news videos would get 10,000 views from the diaspora. This is made possible only because we bring you engaging news in the multimedia format which people want. Whether it's the visit of the President of India, or the immigration changes debate, or budget analysis, or housing bubble fears, or the most recent law and order issues and the New Zealand police initiative of Operation Dukan, we bring it all as the news breaks, mostly live. We have pioneered original on-site reporting in the Indian media space and have invested heavily in that. We were broadcasting Prime Minister John Key's visit to India live. We even broadcast the Anzac Day, which was held in the Delhi War Cemetery, live. So within New Zealand also, so whether it's Ugadi in Parliament, whether it's Kabaddi in Takanini Temple, or Holi in Christchurch, or most recently the Gayatri Mahayagya in Balmoral Temple, or the much talked about Iftar party at the Holy Trinity Cathedral in Parnell, we bring it all live to our audiences. A purpose-built studio at our new premises with 4K capability will further help us provide the community with quality audio, video content. Apart from this, we are also involved with about 90% of all entertainment events that happen in New Zealand. So it's a long list. So whether it's Shah Rukh Khan or Mika Singh or Noora Sisters or Shreya Ghoshal or Asha Bhosle, Sunidhi Chauhan, Satinder Sartaaj, Manmohan Varis, and the list goes on, and Indian Weekender is involved. The most recent and biggest Bollywood show ever in New Zealand in April 2017, the Salman Khan show, also involved Indian Weekender, thus cementing our leadership position in the area of culture and entertainment. We are also proud to be involved with the largest Indian what I can say, the informal event, which is the Auckland Diwali, which is held on in Aotea Square, where about 50,000 people come on a 2-day extravaganza. Indian Weekender is very proud to be associated with that, so please be on the lookout for the dates, and we all look forward to see you there after this. With all this, we have now achieved leadership position in print, digital, social media, and events. But that doesn't stop us from growing. We have launched a few more initiatives. We've launched a ticketing platform. We've launched ticketbazaar.co.nz. We have launched an e-commerce platform, and later on today we will be launching another initiative which is aimed at the property market called the Property Bazaar. For those who have not yet noticed, we have rebranded. After 9 years, we've come up with a new logo. And that would not have been possible without the love and support we get from you. So we thank you all, and we are humbled by your continuous leadership and engagement. To sum it up, our hugely transformative journey of past 9 months could not have been possible without our team. So I'm extremely proud of our team, which is Sandeep, Mahesh, Swati, Rizwan, Yasmin, and Rohan, who work tirelessly and have managed to bring down the walls between print, digital, social media, and audio-video. Usually people would ask me, how many people work for you? They think 24 people work. But we've got only about 6 to 7 people working full-time, and they really make a difference in the community. And they've all helped us successfully morph into a 21st century fully agile multimedia house, ready to take on the challenges posed by the ever-changing media landscape. Tonight, we have all gathered to encourage excellence, celebrate and honor outstanding achievers within our peace-loving and hard-working community. This event recognizes individuals who have built a road to glory for themselves and have left a path for the coming generations. Through this event, we provide the community with a platform to celebrate success within our community. We want to create role models for our coming generations. We want to celebrate success of our community members who have come here in the land in New Zealand and made a mark for themselves. The aim is to have a very competitive community which will contribute meaningfully to the overall social and economic fabric of New Zealand. This evening is not only about the honor we will bestow upon the inductee of the Hall of Fame, but it's about the journey and contribution of every Indian in this country, which we now call home. In the same breath, I would like to thank the far-sighted and open-minded people of New Zealand who have embraced us coming from a faraway land and given us the opportunity to grow in this country. We are all winners. We've come to a new land, worked hard and succeeded, so I want to congratulate every one of you in this room. So please be proud of yourself, be proud of the achievements of your fellow Kiwi Indians, and also be proud of the people and country you now live in. A message from the diaspora for Prime Minister Modi, which we would request Minister Singh to take back with him. The diaspora in New Zealand is fully ready for a visit from Mr. Modi. In the end, by being here, you all have given us your support. Once again, allow me to welcome you all and hope you all have a pleasant and enjoyable evening. And thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Indian Weekender has definitely been something that I've looked forward to, always forward to, because I've grown up in New Zealand, and being a Kiwi Indian girl, I think the weekly newspaper was something that I've looked forward to for Indian news or the community news. So there's a lot to be proud of for Indian Weekender, so thank you for that. Let's move on, and I'd now like to invite the Mayor of Invercargill, Tim Shadbold, on behalf of Penny Simmons for Southern Institute of Technology.
Kia ora, greetings, welcome. It's great to see you all here tonight. And boy, we're going to have a lot of fun. I know, because last awards ceremony that I was here, we had Dr. Benjamin was the winner. And he gave up, and I thought, oh, here comes another dry acceptance speech. But no, he said, what amazes me is how many people question me as to why my marriage has lasted for 47 years. And he said, I made it quite clear that on our marriage night, I am the man of the house. I will make the major decisions in this house, and my wife, she will care for the minor decisions in our house. He said, after 47 years of marriage, I'm still waiting for a major decision. Now, I'm filling in, of course, for Penny, and although I've tried to put Invercargill on the map with movies and events and television and all the rest of it, it really has been Penny Simmons who's the real grunt behind the southern region. And she has invited, for example, the twins who came across, and they look such delicate sort of students, and yet they had climbed the 7 highest peaks in the 7 biggest continents, and not content with that, skied across the North Island and skied across the South Island, and North Pole, they said, skied across the South Pole, and although that would have been a feat to ski over both islands as well, I'm sure they could have done it. It's great being here with our Prime Minister, Bill English. The last event I was with him, it was opening our campus, SIT campus in Queenstown, and he had 6 bodyguards. And I said, oh, Bill, come on, that's stretching it a little bit. I mean, he said, I know, don't talk to me about it. My kids call them the Dipton Police Force. He said, The only irony about it is the Prime Minister's coming home tomorrow and I'm only the acting Prime Minister, and then they take all the bodyguards away and no one cares if I get shot. So it's good. I think these occasions we should be prepared to have a little bit of humour. And my corny, pathetic joke for the night was arriving by taxi, and I had an AMP show and I was the MC and I'd been on my feet all day, and then I was at the MC at the after dinner function and I was the guest speaker, so I just didn't want to talk to anyone at that stage. I just wanted to flop into the taxi and get driven to the airport. And he kept looking at me in the rear vision mirror and adjusting, this driver, and I thought, oh no, here we go, I'm going to have a talker, oh no. And he adjusted his rear vision mirror again and looked at me again, you know. And then as we were coming into the airport, he said, sir, I just have one question for you. I said, I know, I'm Tim Shambald. I was in Dancing with the Stars. I towed my concrete mixer behind the mayoral car. I'm the longest serving mayor in the history of New Zealand. All right? And he said, yes, that's very interesting, sir, but the question was, do you want to go to the domestic terminal or the... Oh, the international terminal. And I can't complete this little entree without a President Trump joke. And... No, well, I know people laugh, but I feel a lot of empathy towards him, because when you look at it, the promise he made that he's been lampooned over for years and months now has been that he was going to build a wall on the Mexican border. And the biggest wall ever built by humans and can be seen from outer space is the Great Wall of China. And the question you have to ask is, has it worked? And my answer is yes, because there's no Mexicans living in China. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Thank you. All right, it is definitely time to take a break from the speeches and introduce our first dance act of the night. Our introductory dance act is by Anuradha School of Dance, and they will also be performing a fusion dance. So please put your hands together for the lovely dancers from Anuradha School of Dance. Thank you. That was very, very graceful. Please give it up for Anuradha School of Dance. I would now like to invite our next sponsor, Julian Stone, Principal John Andrew Master, for a few words. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. On behalf of my team at John Andrew Mazda, you heard them over there, I'm very pleased to be invited to be a part of this wonderful event. The Kiwi Indian community in Auckland is growing at a tremendous rate, as we all know. As a business, we've recently been looking for a way to engage further with the Indian community and saw this as a great opportunity to showcase both our exceptional products and our quality people, some of whom you just heard before. With the booming Auckland economy of the past few years and the high levels of immigration, we've seen unprecedented growth, and in particular with the Mazda brand. We're very proud of the class-leading designs and technology that Mazda provides us and the high levels of service our customers receive. Our latest release is the new Mazda CX-5, which you see over there in the corner. The CX-5 has been the top-selling SUV in New Zealand since its introduction in 2012. The new model takes us to another step ahead of our competition. If you're interested in finding out more about what John Andrew Mazda and what we can offer you, please don't hesitate to talk to my team or just pass a visit at any time. Our showroom in Grey Lynn is open 7 days for your convenience. We also have 3 service centres in Grey Lynn, Penrose and Henderson. Lastly, I'd like to congratulate all the people who were nominated for an award this evening and, of course, the eventual winners. You should all be very proud of your achievements. Have a great evening. Cheers.
Thank you. That was short and sweet. Thank you. We do like that. All right, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to invite the Comedy King Amit Tandon. But before we do that, I want you all to help me in inviting him on the stage. So I work at the hospital, and I think the most common question we ask people as physios are, how would you rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the most amount of pain. So let's change this around and let's go. How about we go rate your clapping on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is just very light clapping and 10 is the loudest you can all clap. Amit's very comfortable, so I think we'll have to take it up to 10. Are you all ready in joining me? Let's go at 1. Let's go lightly. Let's start at 1. Build it up to 3 and 5 and 7 and 10. Amit Tandon! Thank you. That was great. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you so much for getting me back on stage. And now we have the dignitaries. We have General V.K. Singh out here, Honorable Prime Minister as well out here. So,
we
all
do.
set? Huh?
We do, Amit. Now, before I actually leave the stage to you,
Yeah.
I've always noticed, so I think if you've seen a lot of videos of Amit, Amit is known as a married guy.
Yeah.
You know, and you always talk about women. How about we change this around and talk about men tonight?
Okay. So,
Okay, I'll leave you to that.
Thank you so much. Can we have a big round of applause for the host tonight once again? Okay, so about women. Married women in the house, give me a yes. Liars in the house, give me a yes. Wow, quite a few of them were like, we've already lost all energy, don't make us say anything. But it's good, good. I think there are more married women in the house. Give me a yes if you're married, once again. Yeah, this is louder, okay, good. So yeah, I've been accused of that a lot of times, that I talk about, you know, a man's point of view. Let me give out some secrets about a married man today, okay. When a married man is traveling, he makes one call every day, which is called the attendance call. Where he calls up his wife and says, I miss you. He doesn't. But he makes that call. Because if he doesn't make that call, he gets a call from the other side, which is called the angry call, which starts with something like, you know, getting busy really, right? And ends with a threat, once you're back, let's talk. And you can't even say that I'll not pick her call. Because if you don't pick her call, suddenly in her mind, pictures of you dancing, drinking, ending up with a girl looking like Deepika Padukone start playing around. And somehow all women overestimate their man's capability to end up with a girl looking like Deepika Padukone. So we pick that call. And it's very interesting how we pick that call. You know, we could be sitting with our friends after a conference, having a drink, that let's have one more, yeah, let's have one more. And then the phone rings. Like, oh, just give me a second, man. Ha, Mona. The conference just ended. I'm just going out. I'm just going to have dinner in the room. Can I call you after the dinner? Okay, bye. We never sound like we are enjoying ourselves. We could be in the middle of Las Vegas. But when that call comes and she's asking you, so Las Vegas must be having a good time? It's fine. The casinos are nice. The lap dances are nice. But I really wish you were there. And now, you know, General V.K. Singh, I was talking about you earlier because, you know, I wish you were there when I was talking because, you know, I've come all the way from India. And I know you're good at rescuing Indians when they get in trouble. And I'm going to talk about New Zealand in front of the Prime Minister. I was just taking some notes. So my name is Amit Tandon, sir. Just remember. You got to do that. Like, you know, so I was just asking people and then taking notes about what's happening in New Zealand right now. So one, I heard that the dairy owners have been getting robbed a lot. That's happening, right? There's quite a few. Okay, my honest request to the police, be very careful when you're handling the dairy robbers. Especially because there are a lot of Indians who own the dairies, right? And somehow in India, you know, one of the dairy robbers was our god. He was called Makhan Chor. So in case you don't handle them carefully, you might get sued even by the guy who was robbed. Second, one more thing. I came to know, sir, you were the finance minister earlier. Then you became the deputy prime minister, then the prime minister, which is great, because I've heard, New Zealand works very well, as a place. It's almost like a corporate structure, which makes sense, because even in corporate structure, it's the CFO who becomes the CEO later on. That's actually true data. Like 70% of the time, it's the CFO who becomes the CEO. So, do we have the next finance minister out here? So it's just, I thought I'll talk about it. Then, I think one thing I really miss out here is, there's not security check happening at the malls and the hotels. And it's very embarrassing for us, sir. When we come from, when we come from India, if you want to promote Indian tourism, get some people to frisk us. Like me and my family, we've been going around like for the last 3 days. Every mall we enter and we are like... And then nobody comes. And people around are looking at us. Are they looking for resurrection or something? So maybe that's, one feedback. Second, I was a little hopeful when I entered New Zealand. I was a little hopeful because what happened was, the 4 of us, me, my wife, my kids, we entered, we did all the security checks, everything happened. Then 3 of us walked out and then we realized that my wife was left in the back. Because the sniffer dog sniffed something in her bag. And like we had exited, so we couldn't go back and check. And for the next 15 minutes, my wife didn't come out because, the dog was around her, so they made her sit down, check everything. And I was hopeful for those 15 minutes, okay? But then you let her go. So that's another feedback that I had, sir. Then I think I've earlier also talked about it in a couple of videos, that, it's very tough, like my wife is around today, so, she's in the room right now, And the thing is, one, I talk about this all the time, women are way more intelligent than men. Give me a cheer if you believe in that. Give me an applause. Wow. And second, we need to serve lesser liquor on table number 3, like, here. But yeah, like, women are way more intelligent. And I tell you what, you can't win an argument from a lady. And the thing is, and it's because, there are scientific reasons behind it. It's about priorities in life. Like for women, top priority in life is self-respect. Like a woman can die for self-respect. Whereas for a man, self-respect is important, but there are a few things more important than self-respect. Like food, TV, cricket, and somewhere at the bottom of this pile lies self-respect. So when there's an argument happening, there's a heated argument happening and she's quoting your mistakes from 1972. One part of man's brain is still thinking, shit, I left the beer outside. So he says sorry and leaves. Big mistake. Because for women, apology is like cocaine. Once you get used to it, you're never going back. And this is the only relationship where you are the dealer and she's the addict. But it's still your ass that gets whooped all the time. Like sometimes she'll keep you awake till 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's talk it out. She doesn't want to talk. She just needs her cocaine. Until you say sorry, you're not sleeping that night. And it can't be a shrugged off apology that, okay, if you think I'm wrong, I'm sorry. You have to lose your self-respect in the process. Because if you do a shrugged off apology, you should just sentence yourself to 2 more hours of let's talk it out. And in the end, let me just clarify one doubt, because this is what a lot of people ask me all the time, that, they're like, your wife must be very happy with you because you're a stand-up comedian and women love sense of humor in their man. Let me tell you, no. Women love sense of humor, but not in their man. Doesn't work like that. It's a true story. Let me tell you a true story. It was like 11:30 in the night and we were driving down. We were going to my mother-in-law's place. Got to do that, right? You don't know who's recording and what reaches back. And so we were going down to my mother-in-law's place and then suddenly a lot of dogs started following us. And my wife, she wanted to joke. So she looked at me and she's like, very excited to see you. Are these your relatives? The problem is I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm used to answering. So I was like, yeah, all of them are saying the son-in-law is here, the son-in-law is here, the son-in-law is here. Didn't work very well. Thank you so much. You've been a lovely audience. I'll be back.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you. Now, Amit's show is actually happening on Saturday, and it is called the Amit Tandon Show. It will be at the St. Cuthbert's College, and most of the show is already sold out. I'm sure you know why. So please don't be late and book your tickets on ticketbazaar.co.nz. All right, our next speaker for tonight has previously been a member of New Zealand Parliament from 1981 to 1990 and 1993 to 2016. During his time as a mayor, Auckland has definitely become one of the most livable cities. It's got the mouth-watering restaurants, world sporting events, art and music festivals, and cultural festivals. We owe it to our mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mayor of Auckland, Phil Goff.
Kia ora, namaste, sat sri akal, and good evening everyone. It's great to be here once again to celebrate the Kiwi Indian Hall of Fame, and a big thanks to the Indian Weekender. We've heard it several times tonight, haven't we? The only Indian weekly newspaper for its sponsorship of this event and for producing a great newspaper. Can I acknowledge some of our distinguished guests here tonight? I can't see everybody in the dark, but I know our Prime Minister is here, Bill English, the Right Honourable Bill English, Leader of the Opposition, Andrew Little, the Ministers and Members of Parliament that are gathered here. And I want to make a special welcome to our visitor from India, representing the world's largest democracy, General V.K. Singh. I always think that it's a huge tribute to have a country the size of India that has continuously maintained its democracy since the late 1940s. Congratulations, India. And a special welcome too to our High Commissioner, Sanjeev Kohli. Sanjeev, you should be at home with your family celebrating your birthday. You shouldn't be here. But thank you for honouring this occasion with your presence. And last but not least, of course, the redoubtable Bhav Dhillon, the Managing Director of Indian Weekender. It's good to be here in an audience of this size, and each year this audience gets bigger and bigger, and to be able to acknowledge the community and the business leaders from the Indian community here in New Zealand. I want to pay a special tribute to all of you for the way in which over many years you have strengthened our city and our country, for your skill, for your entrepreneurial talent, and for your bringing to this country the rich culture of India, which is more than 5,000 years old. Tonight, of course, we are here to celebrate some very special people. The Kiwi Indian Young Achiever of the World, the Kiwi Indian Community Service Excellence Award, and the big prize, the person who will be inducted this year into the Kiwi Indian Hall of Fame. And I want to reflect for a moment on the distinguished people who have won that award in the past. My former colleague, Kanwaljit Bakshi, Dr. Ajit Singh, Judge, Dr. Kantilal Patel, and Dr. C.S. Benjamin. Each one of those people have made a huge contribution, and I'm sure that we will see tonight 3 people honoured in the different categories who also have contributed so much to our community, to our city of Auckland. But my last thank you goes to the Indian Weekender. The Indian Weekender provides us with huge amounts of information. It is an incredibly competitive newspaper, and I also want to congratulate the Indian community, because I can't think of any other community in Auckland that has so many newspapers and so many radio stations targeted at a particular audience. I think that's a sign of the vibrancy of our Indian community. But Bhav, thank you for producing a great newspaper, but thank you also for your contribution to civic events such as this, where we can honour and pay tribute to those who make a special contribution to our community. Enjoy tonight. Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you, sir. Could we please request you to stay on the stage for our first award? And to present this award, may I also request the following dignitaries to join us on the stage. Honourable Paul Goldsmith, Leader of Opposition Mr. Andrew Little, and Bhav Dillon, the face of Indian Weekender. The Kiwi Indian Young Achiever Award is bestowed upon a young Kiwi Indian between the ages of 16 and 35 who has done exceptionally well in his or her field, be it academics, community, culture, art, or sports. And could I now request Honourable Paul Goldsmith to announce the Young Achiever Award for 2017 and request the Mayor Phil Goff to do the ceremony.
The Kiwi Indian Young Achiever of the Award goes to Shail Kaushal.
Congratulations to Shail Kaushal.
Shail Kaushal is the first Indian born to be elected in the local government in Auckland and the only Asian youth to be elected in New Zealand. With family roots in India, Shail was born to a Punjabi father and his mother from Himachal Pradesh. He is the eldest of 2 sons and migrated to New Zealand about 15 years ago. He grew up in Mount Roskill and now represents the same suburb and is governing on the Auckland Council. The Kaushals have made their public profile and mark in business, community service and politics in New Zealand. At 22 years, he is the youngest person of Indian descent to be elected member of the Auckland Council. He started creating history at the age of 16 when he was selected as a youth MP. At 17, he was the youngest campaign manager to manage a general election campaign in 2011. At 18, he was among 10 youngsters in Auckland selected to be trained as future leaders. At 19, he was the youngest candidate to contest the local government election. At 20, he became the campaign secretary for Mount Roskill during the 2014 general election. At 21, he led a multilateral delegation and represented New Zealand overseas. Aside from politics, Shail is also actively involved in various community activities. We can clearly see a future leader in the making. At such a young age, Shail is inspiring the youth with his growing number of achievements and proving that age is just a number and it does not limit success.
now be seated. Shail, please stay on the stage for your acceptance speech. Congratulations for all the achievements you've had so far. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. If I knew getting elected would get me an award, I would have run sooner. But in all due seriousness, I want to thank the jury, Indian Weekender, for awarding me this prestigious award. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute honor to represent you over the years, whether at Youth Parliament, whether overseas leading a multilateral delegation, and now as part of Auckland Council as your first elected Indian-born member. My journey in this field began as a shy 16-year-old kid when I was chosen to be a youth MP, and I had the great opportunity to follow Dr. Rajendra Prasad and learn the role of good public service and the difference it can make in our community. Although I always wanted to do something in computers, I soon discovered that I always wanted to serve the people when I grew older. I still remember the day when I was sitting in front of a careers advisor at my high school, and I was asked what I wanted to do when I grew up. While all my friends wanted to be doctors and engineers, I wanted to serve people. And I still recall the look on my advisor's face when she mentioned that in the last 10 years she's been there, I was the only second person to say that. And you know the journey from there on. On this night of celebration, I would like to take this opportunity to pay a special acknowledgement to those who have played a special key role in my life so far. Firstly, can I acknowledge all my supporters, donors, advisors, and the great people of the holy city of Mount Roskill. I would also like to especially acknowledge His Worship the Mayor, Phil Goff, and MP for Mount Roskill, Michael Wood, for their guidance and support over the years. And finally, my mum and pops, this is for you. This award is yours more than mine. It is thanks to your upbringing, love, and support that I'm able to receive this award today. Thanks for putting up with me and my ideas to create a more inclusive and fair society. Thank you, everyone. It is my promise to you today that I will continue to work hard and make you proud. Enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Shail, and congratulations on your achievements. We wish you well with your bright, bright future ahead. All right, the next act coming up, they have got a strong passion for dance and Bollywood. Since its formation in 2005, the Indians family has grown from having only a handful numbers to over 85 students. They love Bollywood. We love Bollywood. So please put your hands together for Indians.
मोर बनी थन गट करे मन मोर
निहार हो हे रंग दो लाल नंद के लाल लाल छेड़ो नाही बस रंग दो लाल हो हे रंग दो
हसीना जुल्फों वाले जाने जहां ढूंढती है काफिर आंखें किसका निशान ओ हसीना जुल्फों वाले जाने जहां ढूंढती है काफिर आंखें किसका निशान महफिल महफिल ऐ शमा फिरती हो कहाँ महफिल महफिल ऐ शमा फिरती हो कहाँ
वो अनजाना ढूंढती हूँ वो दीवाना ढूंढती हूँ जला कर जो छिप गया है वो परवाना ढूंढती हूँ ¿Quién eres tú? ¿Dónde has estado? He removido cielo y tierra y no te encontré. Y llegas hoy tan de repente y das sentido a toda mi vida con tu querer.
ना मैं समझा ना मैं जाना जो भी तुमने मुझसे कहा है सेन्योरिटा मगर फिर भी न जाने क्यों मुझे सुन के अच्छा लगा है सेन्योरिटा
No desvíes la mirada, quédate cerca de mí.
मुझको बाहों में तुम घेरो समझी ना सेन्योरिटा चाहत के दो पल भी मिल पाए दुनिया में भी कम है क्या दो पल को तो आओ खो जाए भूले हम होता हम है क्या सेन्योरिटा सुनो सुनो सेन्योरिटा कहते हैं हम क्या
पे तेरी मलू गुलाल रंग बता ब्लू या लाल एयर में तेरे उड़ते बाल आजा रंग दो दोनों गाल अरे सारा रा रा अरे सारा रा रा अरे सारा रा रा कबीरा सारा रा रा
बेबी के देखे झुमके लगाते चार ठुमके छोरे नाचे जमके रे यूपी में दिन दहाड़े विंडो और छत पे ताड़े हम देखे आंखें फाड़े रे अरे 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 तुझ पे टिकी है मेरी नोटी नजरिया तुझको बना करके तुझको बना करके तुझको बना करके ले जाएंगे मदरी की दुल्हनिया तुझको बना करके ले जाएंगे मदरी की दुल्हनिया रानी बना करके ले जाएंगे मदरी की दुल्हनिया
पैरों से बीड़ी जरा खोल नगाड़ संग ढोल बाजे हाय ढाय धम धम हाय नगाड़ संग ढोल बाजे हाय ढाय धाय धम धाय ये धिकड़ाक आजा उड़ के सराट पैरों से बीड़ी जरा खोल नगाड़ संग ढोल बाजे हाय ढाय धम धम हाय नगाड़ संग ढोल बाजे हाय ढाय धाय धम धाय
Thank you, Indians. The colors, the glitters, you truly represented Bollywood. Our next speaker has come all the way from India. He is an Indian politician and a retired 4-star general in the Indian Army. He's a graduate of the Defence Services Staff College, Wellington, and also a graduate of US Army Rangers course at Fort Benning, USA. In 2014, after his retirement from military, he joined the Bharatiya Janata Party, also known as BJP, and was elected as a member of parliament at the Lok Sabha in the Indian general elections 2014. He has also written his autobiographical book called Courage and Conviction. And he's won the following awards: Param Vishisht Seva Medal, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Youth Seva Medal for his distinguished service during the Operation Pawan. Please put your hands together for General V.K. Singh. I also request Mr. Bob Dylan and the Honourable Prime Minister Bill English to please be here on the stage and to felicitate the Minister. Could I please request you to join us on the stage as well to felicitate the Minister? And Paula Ray from A&M to join us on the stage, and request the Honourable Prime Minister to give a memento to General V.K. Singh. And could I now request the A&M representative, Paula Ray, to join us on the stage so we can sign the MOU between the Indian Weekender and A&M Media. Thank you for that. Now could I request General V.K. Singh to stay on the stage and please say a few words, and thank you to all the other dignitaries for joining us tonight.
The Prime Minister, Right Honourable Bill English, Honourable Ministers, Leader of Opposition, Members of Parliament, Mr. Bob Dylan, the Publisher and Managing Editor of the Indian Weekender, and esteemed members of the audience, the community of Kiwi Indians who are present here. Let me say, I'm really privileged and glad to be amongst you, especially in this beautiful city of Auckland, considered one of the most or the best livable cities in the world. I'm really also privileged to have such a galaxy of New Zealand politicians who are present here. And like I was telling the Prime Minister, he was telling me this particular memento is meant for a lot of good things. I said, in politics, you need those. We have gathered here to applaud this year's winners of Kiwi Indians Hall of Fame. And I seek to acknowledge the accomplishments of Kiwi Indians out here. You all came long time back. You all have assimilated and amalgamated yourself into the society that existed here. You have contributed to the growth story in New Zealand, and you have become a part and parcel of the life of New Zealand. I salute all of you. Let me say that where India is concerned, we do care for our diaspora. And like our Prime Minister said this year in the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas that we had, and which was attended by the Portuguese Prime Minister, who's of Indian descent, and the Prime Minister said, our relation is not of passports. Our relation is of blood. And that is what matters. What matters to us is that you who have come from India with great amount of cultural moorings that you have brought with you, you love that culture, please do so. Please take the best out of it. But you are settled here, you are part and parcel of the country. Do ensure that you contribute towards the growth and goodwill of this country. Now, that's the message that's important. And where India is concerned, we will continue to take care of your interests where they matter. We would be always there to assist you where required, and we will seek your assistance in furthering and making our relationships better wherever you live. India and New Zealand have had long-standing, friendly and growing relationship. We have had relationship which has spanned number of years of active collaboration on many issues together. We share a worldview in which democratic principles matter, and as the largest democracy, we understand what those compulsions of democracy are. Where India is concerned, it is moving on a path unparalleled in the history of independent India so far. These 3 years spent are taking India to great heights in various spheres. And I urge all the Kiwi Indians who have their roots back home to look at what India is and to look at how you can invest or you can motivate others to invest in India, as India has become the favored destination for investment in the world. It's a matter of pride that the Black Caps are going to sport a jersey with the logo of Amul, the dairy people in India. And knowing that New Zealand itself is a great leader in the dairy field, we feel proud that we are actually now with you to not to compete, but to collaborate in this particular field. I would like to convey my deep appreciation to Indian Weekender for inviting me to your flagship event. It gives me a chance to look at the multi-ethnic community that is in New Zealand. The visit is short, But as people who would have served in the armed forces would know, it doesn't take more than 5 minutes to find out what a particular area looks like. And let me say that what I've seen so far gladdens my heart that the community is contributing in a manner which needs to be applauded much more than what we've applauded so far. My best wishes to all of you. I bring to you greetings from our Prime Minister, and we hope that between the various state elections that take place in India and between the various visits that he goes on, he will certainly find time to visit New Zealand. Wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Could I please request you to stay on the stage for our next award? Our next award is a Community Service Excellency Award. And could I also request the High Commissioner of India, Mr. Sanjeev Kohli, Honorable Simon Bridges, Minister of Economic Development, Minister of Transport, and also Minister of Communications, Associate Minister of Finance, and Leader of the House, and Mr. Bhav Dhillon to join us on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kiwi Indian Community Service Excellency Award is dedicated to those individuals who contribute immensely towards the society but have not been recognized for their efforts. Could I please request Honorable Simon Bridges to announce the Community Service Excellency Award and also request the General VK Singh to do the ceremony.
Kiwi Indian Community Service Excellence Award goes to Thakur Prabhu.
Congratulations to Mr. Thakur Prabhu.
Born in Gujarat, India, and brought up in New Zealand, Thakur immigrated to the country at the age of 8 years. A proud father of 2, Thakur had a keen interest in rugby and cricket and played in first 15 rugby and first 11 cricket teams during college. A lawyer by profession, Thakur has been practicing law for more than 60 years and has worked in some of the country's top law firms. He had a close connection with former Prime Minister David Lange, which helped him raise the Indian community's concerns with the then Prime Minister. His connection helped the Indian community's voice being heard by the leader of the day and resulted in many issues being resolved. He has been serving the community for more than 50 years through his involvement in various community organizations. He was awarded Queen's Service Medal in 1989 for his service to the community. Since then, he has continued his voluntary work. He has been deeply involved with the Federation of Ethnic Council and Auckland Regional Migrant Centre. He was also on the National Advisory Panel of the Human Rights Commission to promote civil and political rights, economic and cultural rights, and race relations in New Zealand. He is a past president of the New Zealand Indian Central Association and is continuing his voluntary work for the association. He is a long-term honorary legal advisor for Auckland Indian Sports Club, Auckland Indian Association, New Zealand Indian Central Association, and Bharatiya Mandir Temple in Auckland. He continues to serve as counsellor and honorary advisor to the Indian community throughout New Zealand on cultural, domestic, matrimonial, immigration and social problems since 1963. He has effectively lobbied on various ethnic issues at the parliamentary level, which culminated in the formation of Ministry of Ethnic Affairs with the Cabinet. Thakur Prabhu, we salute you for your service and contributions to the Indian community in New Zealand. You are truly an inspiration for many.
thank you to our dignitaries for joining us on the stage. Congratulations, Mr. Prabhu. Congratulations on your achievements. I'll now leave you to speak a few words.
General V.K. Singh, Your Excellency, the High Commissioner of India, Sanjeev Kohli, you should be home today having your birthday rather than being here. It's a pleasure this evening to be here to accept the award which you have given to me. I acknowledge the presence of our Prime Minister, Mr. Bill English, my old friend Phil Goff, the Mayor of Auckland, Andrew Little, the Leader of the Opposition, and all those that are here from the Parliament and other circles, and all you other people who are my friends. My salutations go to Bob Dylan and the Indian Weekender and the sponsors for organising this function. I take this opportunity also to congratulate the other recipients of the award tonight. As an immigrant, like most of us here, I have learned to respect and made many friends amongst the Tangata Whenua, the Maori people, the original settlers of Aotearoa. I accept the award not only for myself, but for many of you who have supported me and helped me. It's also in the memory of my late wife, Shantiben, who was always by my side. My work in the various communities has enriched my life. I have received much more than I have contributed. I've had the good fortune to meet people of various ethnic backgrounds who have taught me one word: tolerance. In New Zealand, we have many cultures and races. We rejoice in them as one people and one nation, New Zealand. I accept this award not only for myself, but for all you people that have made me what I am. I thank you again all those who have nominated me, the sponsors, the Indian Weekender, its staff, and you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prabhu, and congratulations once again. You're truly an inspiration. I'm going to invite Amit Tandon back on the stage. However, I'm going to step down amongst you guys, and I'll let Amit handle the stage while we do a little bit of chit-chat, a little bit of interaction amongst you guys. So Amit, should I go down? And because now again, just going back to your married guy, let us start with looking around for a couple. Have we got some couples here tonight?
Quite a few couples, I think.
Put your hands together if you're here with your partners or spouses. I think people are quite scared. What have we done, Amit?
Wow.
What have we done to people?
People who love their spouses, can you put your hands together?
People who love their spouses, put your hands together.
People who love their mother-in-laws, can you put your hands together for a clap? Oh, quite a few. You know, marriage tells you how to lie as well, right? You can see that. Yeah, go on. You want to talk to somebody?
So, should we have a look around this table? Who have we got here? Rupa. Rupa, lovely. And who's around here with you?
Bobby.
Bobby, right.
Oh, wow.
So, Rupa and Bobby, how long have you been married for?
Still counting.
Still counting. I think I'm going to ask Bobby because,
you should ask Rupa actually. She would remember by the day.
Like, by the date. Sarupa, how many years has it been?
14 years.
Wow,
14 years. That calls for an applause. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I assume that you're the boss because you remember this, right?
Yeah.
So ladies are always ruling in the house. So how about we then talk to Bobby?
Yeah, let's
Yeah?
talk to Bobby.
Okay, so Bobby, I think you need some advice. I think you need some advice from Amit. He seems to be, he seems to be getting this married act right. Doesn't he?
It looks like.
Looks like it, definitely. So, would you like to ask Amit for some kind of marriage advice or any question around your relationships?
You've been giving advices on how to win an argument from your wife. So what you've been doing, you look very happy your wife is still around here.
Okay, first way of winning an argument is sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. Just say sorry, that works well. There's one argument, honestly, that I've won in my entire lifetime from my wife. And that happened because, there was an argument happening about she wanted to buy some jewelry, she wanted to buy diamonds, I wanted to buy a car, okay? And we were having an argument about it. And finally, how I won it was that I told her that if you were wearing real diamonds and got out of a cheap car, everybody will think they are fake diamonds. But if you're wearing fake diamond but getting out of a BMW, everybody will think they are real. So work for us, right? That's the only argument that I have ever won.
That's great. Thanks, Bobby. Coming, just sticking on that note around BMW, I think we've got the principal of Mazda, Julian Stone. Where are you, Julian?
Wow.
Are you around? Or you've just
he's gone. He's
next
gone,
time. Okay. My
he's not happy we named a competitor, so
he's not
we're
happy.
taking him back. So actually this happened because I was saying, if you step out of a Mazda, I'm taking back my words. I have not yet received my payment, so I need to
Yeah, I think we need to be careful, Amit. You and I need to be a little bit careful, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were not paid in advance. This is an Indian company organizing this. It's an Indian company. It's an Indian company when it's an Indian company based out of New Zealand and they get a sponsor from Singapore. So, clearly, thank you so much.
Thank you, Amit. I'll leave it up to you.
Thank you so much. So we were talking about NRIs. I keep on coming back to you. I feel very secure when I don't know why. I've performed for army a number of times in Jammu and all those areas. Somehow I feel very secure. So I thought Oh, you're back. Okay, I was doing a joke where I was saying if you get out of a Mazda, you look like a billionaire. Okay. Amazing car. I've never seen it, but it's amazing. The day you launch it in India, I'll buy it. But amazing. Believe me. Tell them to release my payment, okay? So we were talking about NRIs, it's essentially, again, Indian origin people. I have a proposal, to ensure that they come back home a little bit more. For that, I think we need to have some education happening in India, which we should tell all their relatives. Don't expect gifts every time they visit back home. They have to buy made in India stuff in New Zealand and take it back. And the problem is now it's tougher for them because earlier there was no internet. Now there is internet. We have brand recognition happening. We've been traveling ourselves also across the world. Earlier an NRI could fool us. Earlier an NRI would come back and get gifts and we'll be happy. Oh, Mamaji got me Lufthansa's socks. Because we never understood that. It's interesting. How many awards are we giving out? We are giving out 3 awards tonight. Right? Which is very interesting coming from India, but one, it's clearly a very honest award that's giving out because none of the performers had to come and none of the winners had to do a dance performance before or after getting the award. Second, the number of awards, it's a little weird for me because we give out more awards than this in India just for organizing a good award ceremony. But in the end, I just want to, because I had lesser time. How many of you have kids? Give me a yes. Oh wow, quite a few people with kids. Like, this is interesting. Huh? There are liars also in the audience. Lying about having kids? That's really bad. What's your name? Huh? Suman. You've come with your husband? You alone? What? Okay. Half of the accent I can get, honestly. I don't know whether it's kiwi or it's drunk, but one of the accents I don't get. Both. Okay, so the combo isn't really. So are you married? Unfortunately, yes. And you have kids? How many? One. Oh, okay. Then it's not unfortunate. I have two. You've not been repeating too many mistakes. Okay, I've done that. Like, I have two kids and one wife. It's like that Chetan Bhagat novel, in case you've read, with 3 mistakes of my life. But it's interesting. This is how it happens in India. You get married because, you did your engineering, you did your MBA, you work for a couple of years and your parents go after you, get married. Then you get married that now at least the parents won't say anything. But no. As soon as you get married, when are you having kids? Kids. And I figured out, your parents are not fond of grandkids. That's not the case. For them, it's basically that, you ruined our lives. Somebody has to do it for you. Like, there's a huge difference. And they keep on telling you that, there are advantages of having kids. And I've had kids for like 12 years now. And I've seen only one advantage of having kids. And that happened recently when my 12-year-old son went to my wife and said, "Mummy, Grandma makes better chicken tikka than you." I almost cried. I said, "Beta, you just said something that I couldn't say for the last 14 years. But normally it's a little frustrating, right, with kids. Sometimes I wonder, why do you want to have kids? Have drugs instead. Drugs give you exactly what kids take away, peace of mind. And the thing is, if you have a bad job, you can walk out of it. You have a bad relationship, you can walk out of it. But with kids, you just can't have this conversation bit a bit too. I don't think it's working out. The diapers are fine, the doctor visits are okay, but your maths homework is a bit too much for me. You can't do that with kids, right? And the thing is, the kids have changed a lot. Like whenever my daughter wants something from me, she gives me a "I love you, Dad" card. So whenever I'm going home now, I'm really scared. I hope nobody talks to me properly at home. Nobody offers me water. And the thing is, then there's something new that has started called Father's Day. You have Father's Day out here, right? The day you get a really expensive gift, bought with your own money. Then they're asking you, where's the return gift? And then they give you a card. Like, they give you a card which says, "World's Best Father." And I got that card. And I was like, did you really have a choice? And the thing is, times have changed, right? In our case, never really happened. Like, these days, fathers are very cool. Fathers are yo. That's what they call it these days. People call their fathers dad. I never called my father dad. I've always called him Daddy G. Because he never turned cool. For me, dad is the abbreviation of daddy after drinks. Because that's when my father turned cool. And, when you're growing up in a Punjabi family, you turn, 17, 18. That's the first time your father invites you to have a drink with him. And he's like, "You should have a peg. Just taste it once. You should know the taste." And you're wondering, "Dad, the scooter that you're trying to teach me, We have Grand Prix on that outside. 100 की स्पीड से भगाते हम बाहर इसको. And the thing is, drinking with your father is like watching the college fashion show sitting next to your principal. You enjoy the experience, but you can't express yourself. And drinking has different stages. Peg 1 is when you start opening up. Peg 2, Peg 3 is when you fall in love with the person that you're drinking with. Peg 4, Peg 5 is of honesty. So one day we're drinking, I was on Peg 2 and my father was on Peg 5. And I said, Dad, I know you love me. You never say that, but I know you love me. You've kept my picture next to your bed throughout your life. I know you love me. Unfortunately, my father was at the honesty stage. He said, Beta, love shove is okay, but your picture out there works as a contraceptive. Whenever we are in the mood, we end up looking at what we did last time. Thank you so much. You've been a lovely audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you. It's always a laugh when you are around. All right, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, I've got some Bollywood and I've got some amazing people here tonight. They're as different as chalk and cheese, it says, but when brothers Armaan Malik and Amal Malik are together, they create magic. Armaan has won prestigious awards like the Filmfare, Stardust, and has been nominated for the IFA Awards. He's also won the prestigious Dada Saheb Phalke Award. And Amal, talent knows no age, as they say. And you are a testament to that. 2015 in particular was his year when he was given almost every award in the film and music industry. And he also won the Youngest Music Director Award and has done wonderful movies like Airlift, Baggy, Kapoor and Sons, Azhar and Bar Bar Dekho. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Malik brothers, Amal and Armaan. To share a mic if that's okay tonight. Yeah, it's a brotherly love that we just want to see tonight. All right, how are you finding New Zealand?
It's amazing. It's always good to come to New Zealand because we have family here who's been living for 20 years. And I love coming to New Zealand. We get to breathe fresh air. That's amazing. And thank you for being such an amazing audience. A big round of applause for everyone out here. And I'll hand it over to my big brother.
Amal, have you been traveling around Auckland, New Zealand?
I've been busy recording back in Bombay, and I saw his pictures and I was like, I need to come and just check out all the places. It's been 10 years since I've come back to New Zealand, and it's wonderful to be amongst all of you all. Thank you so much. It's beautiful.
Thank you, definitely. And I think it's been wonderful to have you both here tonight for such a prestigious award ceremony. Thank you for joining us. However, we cannot let them go like this, can we? I don't think they've paid their taxes. They need to sing for us. So please put your hands together and let's welcome Armaan and Amal to sing.
So I think both of us are going to sing one song each. He has a special dedication for someone in the audience. And I'm singing a song that I'm known for back home. It's called Main Hoon Hero Tera. It's the Indian equivalent of Hero by Enrique Iglesias. But it's a beautiful song. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. आँखों के पन्नों पे मैंने लिखा था 100 दफा लफ्जों में जो इश्क था हुआ ना होठों से बयां खुद से नाराज हूँ, क्यों बे आवाज हूँ, मेरी खामोशियाँ है सजा। दिल है ये सोचता फिर भी नहीं पता, किस हक से कहूँ बता कि मैं हूँ हीरो तेरा, कि मैं हूँ हीरो तेरा, कि मैं हूँ हीरो तेरा, कि मैं हूँ हीरो तेरा। हाय Thank you so much.
There's a gentleman in the audience, Mr. Sanjeev Kohli, and I composed music for a movie called Airlift, which was about the evacuation in Kuwait that he carried out, and it was wonderful that the whole team, even VK Singh, so there's a song called Soch Na Sake from the movie, which I would like to sing and dedicate to you all.
ਤੈਨੂੰ ਇਤਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਾਂ, ਇੱਕ ਪਲ ਵਿੱਚ 100 ਵਾਰ ਕਰਾਂ। ਤੂੰ ਜਾਵੇ ਜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ, ਮੌਤ ਦਾ ਇੰਤਜ਼ਾਰ ਕਰਾਂ। कि तेरे लिए दुनिया छोड़ दी है, तुझ पे ही सांस आके रुके। मैं तुझको कितना चाहता हूँ ये तू कभी सोच ना सके, कि तेरे लिए दुनिया छोड़ दी है, तुझ पे ही सांस आके रुके। मैं तुझको कितना चाहता हूँ ये तू कभी सोच ना सके। कुछ भी नहीं है ये जहां, तू है तो है इसमें जिंदगी। अब मुझको जाना है कहाँ के, तू ही सफर है आखिरी। कि तेरे बिना जीना मुमकिन नहीं, न देना कभी मुझको तू फासले। मैं तुझको कितना चाहता हूँ ये तू कभी सोच ना सके, कि तेरे लिए दुनिया छोड़ दी है, तुझ पे ही सांस आके रुके। मैं तुझको कितना चाहता हूँ ये तू कभी सोच ना सके।
Thank you so much. Wish you all a wonderful evening. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I'd like to stay on the stage. That was very mesmerizing. Thank you. All right, and now could I please request the Honourable Prime Minister Bill English and Mr. Bhav Dhillon to join us on the stage and share a lovely piece, a lovely memento with the Malik brothers. Thank you. Lovely. Arman and Amal, just definitely. This is a beautiful koru. Koru represents new life, growth, strength and peace and is very special to New Zealand. Thank you, that's great. And could I also request the Prime Minister to please stay on the stage and to speak a few words.
Kia ora, namaste, talofa lava. Can I acknowledge the Leader of the Opposition, Andrew Little, the High Commissioner for India, Mr. Kohli, Can I acknowledge all our ministers who are here, Ministers Goldsmith, Bridges, Coleman, Mitchell. I don't know how you do it, Barb. I can't get them all in a room at once. Can I particularly acknowledge our MPs who represent the Indian community, Parmjeet Parmar and Kanwal Bajit Singh. These are MPs who, in their own right, are doing a fantastic job in Parliament, not just representing the community, but a strong contribution to shaping the laws and politics of New Zealand. Can I acknowledge the Mayor of Invercargill as one of the principal sponsors? I'm one of the few people who've been a public person in Southland longer than Tim. And I can tell you, he's always got a story, and almost none of them are true. But I can tell you a Donald Trump story. I went to a school the other day, and I was introduced to this classroom as the New Zealand Prime Minister. I think they were 10-year-olds. And they were a bit confused about that. And one of them puts his hand up and he says, "Is Donald Trump a Prime Minister?" And I thought I won't give them a constitutional lecture. So I said, "Well, he's a bit like a Prime Minister." And the 10-year-old says to me, "Well, I don't like Prime Ministers." But I was going to say, Phil, Phil Goff, you and I should listen to Tim because they've got no congestion in Invercargill. Particularly can I acknowledge General KV Singh, Minister of State. I've long admired the complex and dynamic politics of India. As part of a Prime Minister's Fellowship program a month or so ago, I met a senior advisor from Prime Minister Modi's office, and I had just come out of a discussion where we were talking about some aspect of making a part of government digital so it would work better for our 5,000 people who use that service. And Prime Minister Modi's advisor explained to me the way they have put 1 billion people on biometric identification over recent years and decashed the whole Indian economy. I mean, these are actions on a scale we just can't grasp, but have been executed so essentially well in India. So now an economy growing at 6 or 7% a year will, in our children's generation, well, in our time, but certainly for our children, be a profound influence on the world and on New Zealand. And I want to acknowledge the Minister and the General here tonight. We're here to celebrate the excellence and achievement of Kiwi Indians. Last week I spent a bit of time in Samoa with my family. My father-in-law came to New Zealand 60 years ago from Samoa, and he married an Italian whose family had come to New Zealand during the Second World War. And in the 35 years I've known that family, I've learned so much about the experience of migrants to this country. And I'm proud to say New Zealanders have become much better than they were in the 50s and 60s when that family arrived here at welcoming what is new, what is fresh, and what is energetic about our migrant communities. And so we hope that for those who've come recently, they feel welcome, and for those who came a while ago from India, that their dreams have been fulfilled. Because I learnt through my own wife's family the hard work that's required, the focus on education, the way that education and business creates and allows for the aspirations that people have in a new country, but also the importance of respect, the importance of gaining respect from the wider community. And I want to say tonight that the Indian community has certainly achieved that. And if there was a measure of it, it has been the broad public concern about the issues of law and order that have had an impact on Indians running business in this city. Everyone has been concerned about that. Everyone's wanted our shopkeepers to feel safe, our business owners to feel like they can go about their business in the same way as anyone else in New Zealand free of hassle and danger. So that respect has been won. No country can be better than its communities and its families. And you contribute mightily. You contribute mightily to both. So enjoy your evening, enjoy your achievement, and thank you for your contribution to a country which is going somewhere. New Zealand's a good place to be right now. Better than most developed countries, more opportunities, more jobs, as you've noticed, more cars. And we're getting used to being a growing dynamic economy, and thank you for your role in that. Good evening.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Could I please request you to stay on the stage for the next couple of ceremonies? All right, I'd now like to invite Dr. Ashwin Johar, who's come here all the way from India to be with us tonight. He is the Vice Chairman of Centre for Economic Policy and Research, Chairman Foreign Investment and NRI Affairs, Haryana, and he's also the charge of Haryana and Punjab Overseas Friends of BJP. Thank you for being here tonight. Could I please request the Prime Minister and Mr. Pavdalan to felicitate Dr. Ashwin Johar. Thank you, Mr. Johar, for joining us tonight. Thank you. Could I now request the Prime Minister and Mr. Pavdalan and the Indian Weekender team to release the official annual issue of Indian Weekender. That's great. That's the face of Indian community. Thank you. And thank you. Could I also get the Prime Minister to sign the Indian paper and the silver tray memento? Thank you so much. And could I request you to stay on the stage for the big award of tonight, the Hall of Fame Award. And to present this award, may I also request Honourable Jonathan Coleman, Ministry of Health and Ministry of Sport and Recreation, Honourable Mark Mitchell, to join us on the stage. The Hall of Fame Award was introduced to recognize the effort of eminent personalities in the Indian community and to honor them. It honors the Kiwi Indians that have contributed not only in their community, however, in New Zealand. Could I request Honourable Jonathan Coleman to do the honours and announce the final award for tonight? And request the Honourable Prime Minister to hand out the award and do the ceremony.
So, the inductee for the Kiwi Indian Hall of Fame 2017 is Suki Turner.
Sukinder Kaur Turner, also lovingly called Suki Turner, was the first woman to be elected mayor in Dunedin and the first ever person of Indian descent to do so. She is also the first Indian from New Zealand to be awarded in 2004 the Pravasiya Bharatiya Samman, India's highest honour for non-resident Indians abroad. She served as the mayor of Dunedin from 1995 to 2004. Born in April 1952 to an Indian Sikh family, she completed her education in different parts of India, as her father was a proud Indian Air Force personnel in Air India. She graduated in History and Political Science from Bethany College, West Virginia in USA. Suki came to New Zealand after marrying a cricketer, Glenn Turner, in September 1973 and travelled around the world with him. She is a proud mom to a son and a daughter and a proud grandmother of 2. She was elected to Dunedin City Council as councillor in her first attempt in 1992 and was elected the Mayor of Dunedin in 1995, defeating an incumbent mayor for the first time in 27 years. She was re-elected in 1998 and 2001 before finally retiring in 2004. She was awarded New Zealand Women's Centennial Suffrage Medal in 1993, Distinguished Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit in 2002, and the Pravasya Bharatiya Samman in 2004. She has also been actively involved in community activities with Dunedin's Multi-Ethnic Council, the New Zealand Federation of Ethnic Councils, Enviro School Foundation, Alpine Community Development Trust, to mention a few. Sukhinder Kaur Turner, you are an ultimate inspiration for not only Indians but also the entire migrant community and especially the women of New Zealand.
Congratulations! Could I request the Prime Minister to do the honours? Thank you. Please request the winner of Kiwi Indian Hall of Fame Award for a few words on your acceptance.
Sat Sri Akal, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa, and good day. It's quite humbling to be here, but I know I'm amongst my fellow Kiwi Indians, my Jatwalas, and I would like to acknowledge all the special guests and dignitaries, and also say how honoured I was to serve, first as a councillor, and then as a mayor to my favourite city in New Zealand, Dunedin, and second favourite is of course Auckland. But it's actually funny because when I first went to India after I was elected mayor, I was speaking with some of our family guests who were quite surprised that I was mayor, but they asked me, how many Indians live in Dunedin? How many Indians? There must be many Indians who live in Dunedin to have voted for you. And I said, no, there were, I think when I was voted in, there must have been about 20 to 50 families. Well, that is the beauty of New Zealand. You know, a place and may I say that 44 years is when I came to New Zealand, and even then there was a great welcoming for me, and I imagine that perhaps the University of Otago had something to do with it, but we had many Indians who actually served there, and I just found New Zealanders very open. They travel a lot. They know about diversity because they have some in their own country. And I think the plurality of New Zealand is going to be the most important thing in the years ahead, when we will need tolerance, we'll need goodwill, and we will need love and compassion. And I think we will have all that here. And I would like to congratulate all the people in public service who are here, because those are the kind of values I'm sure you will promote for our wonderful New Zealand. But before I leave, I must also acknowledge my family. My husband, who actually served me many curries while I was doing my 24/7 job, Glenn, and the support that, of course, I've had from my children. And my son is over here this evening, and with his lovely partner, Amy. And, of course, now I've got two Kiwi Indian, several sort of ethnicities, grandchildren. They are a real blend of many cultures and many genetics that are very genetics. And that's where the world is going, you know. So let's celebrate the diversity that we've seen here, the wonderful entertainment, and the beautiful culture that which I brought from my first home, India. And I would like my special welcome to the special guests from India as well. So namaste, and thank you very much.
Well, with this, we bring our formal event towards close. Before that, we have to give away an award, which is from Star Print Group, which is a free package for two to Queenstown. So that goes to Sam Karani from Seafins Limited. So with this, I would like to formally thank all those who are here, especially all our community leaders, all our sponsors, and all our ministers who are here from the government. I won't be able to name every one of them. I would definitely name the Mayor of Auckland, the Leader of Opposition, and I would definitely thank the visitor who's come all the way from India, General V.K. Singh, and the Right Honourable Prime Minister Bill English. Sir, we thank you, and we thank Minister Singh for coming all the way from India. And once again, I thank you all to come and grace this occasion. And with this, we bring the formal part of the evening to a close. Dinner would be served, mix and mingle, and make the most of your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon, for the vote of thanks. And thank you to each and every one of you. You've been a wonderful audience tonight. Please give a round of applause for yourselves. Okay, the applause has gone down, which means you're all very hungry. So the dinner is served, ladies and gentlemen. Please wait for the hotel staff to announce the dinner at your table. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night.